Hello there in YouTube world. This is another episode of the Carolina Sports Guy. On today's episode, we're going to look at the top 35 defensemen in Carolina Hurricanes history. Doesn't mean they're the 35 best, but the criteria was at least play a minimum of 100 games. Before that, make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that bell icon for the Carolina Sports Guy, and leave any comments below. Now, there are a few things we need to look at. Carolina Sports Guy kind of wanted to make a list and see if we had over 100 games played that we could really basically narrow everything down, and we'd come up with 35 individuals who played defense for the Carolina Hurricanes for that amount of time. Now, I did put two individuals in the slideshow, and it basically is just a slideshow, and we're going to go from what I would consider the worst to the best defenseman we've ever had. And remember, it's just my opinion. You might not have an issue with number 1. Maybe you don't have an issue with number 35. But maybe somewhere in between you would have listed somebody higher for games played or points or just what they meant to the team, where we were at that time. Maybe someone holds a special place in your heart because that's where they played during the Stanley Cup year. But there's two people who weren't on the list who didn't meet the criteria. I did want to include them. And number 1 is the rookie. I've got to put it out there. I'm going to put him in this slideshow as an honorable mention. He only played in 2 games last year. He's played in 30-some this year so far up to date, and that's Jake Bean. First round pick we had a few years ago. I wanted to include him in it because I do think the future is bright with Hayden Fleury being traded to Anaheim just about a week ago. We can actually sit back and look and say, hey, Jake Bean probably is not going to be exposed to the expansion draft. At least I hope not. And it's somebody I think that's going to have a good future with the Hurricanes, barring any injury or any drop-off. Second person I want included in this video who did not play 100 games is an individual that probably would have definitely played over 100 games and would have been somewhere in the middle of the 35 guys I listed, and that's Steve Chiasson. Anybody remembers the early history? I believe he played for the Hartford Whalers. So he came in when the Hurricanes moved to Greensboro. Steve Chiasson played 1997 to 1998. He actually played for the Hurricanes during the playoff year against Boston. I believe we had to play Boston in the playoffs. We didn't play very well. Boston beat us in that series in the late 90s. But after one of the games, Steve Chiasson, I can't remember what player's house he went to, had a little bit to drink. Wrecked I believe he had a Ford Ranger. He got in a wreck, drinking and driving, and he died from the results of those injuries. Tragic event for the Hurricanes. But one of the first 2 jerseys I ever had, the first year the Hurricanes moved to Carolina, was a Steve Chiasson jersey, and I still have it. It was sentimental. I held on to it because of the fact of what happened to him. So I did want to mention him and put him in the slideshow because I do believe if Steve Chiasson wouldn't have drank on that unfaithful night and would have lost his life, then he definitely would have been included in this list of top 35. So once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, leave some comments, and here us roll the tape. 35 top defensemen in Carolina Hurricanes history. Okay, and that wraps it up, guys. The top 35 players who played defense for the Carolina Hurricanes in their 1997 through 2021 season. What do you think? Leave me some comments below. I kind of tried to rank them where I felt they fit at. I have a hard time removing number one. I think he definitely should stay as the number one defenseman we've ever had. Maybe you don't like who number 35 is and you want to switch that, or somewhere in between. But in the whole thing here, just please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave some comments. I want to see you on the next episode of the Carolina Sports Guy.